The Apple Watch Ultra. It's been on my wrist since September of 2022. And over the years, I found the best band for it, in my opinion. Now, Apple has multiple different styles of bands. They have sport bands, Nike sport bands, sport loops, leather bands, all of them. Now, I have multiple bands here, and I have one of almost every style that Apple has. So, I've worn them all, and I gotta say, I think there's a ranking system here. So we'll start with my least favorite and go to my favorite one. So my least favorite is probably gonna be the traditional sport loop and Nike sport loop, because we're gonna lump them together because there really is no more Nike line. Now, this is a regular sport loop. It's just Velcros and goes on the watch like a normal watch. And in my opinion, wearing a sport loop with the Ultra kind of makes it a little tacky. While there are some that it does not look tacky with and it looks really good, there are others that kind of just take it down from being an $800 watch. It kind of makes it look a little tacky, in my opinion. Now, I will admit, I still wear it with sport loops all the time, and I love them. But I think the Ultra, you gotta go with the trail loop. Then after that is the traditional sport band. So this is the midnight color, and there are some color combos that I just find don't go well with the natural titanium of the Apple Watch Ultra. So I have multiple different colors. I have surf blue, midnight, product red, cactus, and the traditional white. The traditional white band goes so well with the Ultra, and it looks perfect. And so would the Starlight, because it would match so well. But then there are the other colors, like the midnight, that kind of just stand out and look a little weird. But that's mainly because of the Apple Watch color. Now, if you want to wear a sport band with the Ultra, in all fairness, go for it, because there's nothing wrong with it, and it looks pretty good. It looks clean. That's the best way I could describe it. You only have the few holes, and it just looks almost like a traditional Apple Watch, but some of the colors just aren't the greatest match to the band. So after this, we are tied between the Alpine loop, which is the one I got when I got my Ultra, and the traditional Nike sport band. So the Nike sport band has a bunch of these holes, and it's very breathable, but this kind of goes in par with the regular sport band. There are some of them that kind of make the watch look a little tacky and dumbed down, and then there are other ones that when you're wearing it with the watch, it looks so clean, and it just looks so good. But having that breathability is something that you don't get with the traditional watch bands, and that's why I really enjoy wearing the Nike sport bands with it. And then we have the Alpine loop. So this is a band that I personally really like, mainly because of the clasp, as there is no way this is coming loose on your wrist unless you unhook it. And as someone who is pretty adventurous and has gone rock climbing and will go rock climbing with the Ultra, having a band that I know won't get caught or snagged or have to worry about potentially coming off and falling a good 40 plus feet to the ground is something that I find comfort in, because I know it's not going anywhere. And now probably my most favorite Apple Watch band with the Ultra that I never thought I would like as much as I do is the Solo Loop band. So this is the Sprout Green Solo Loop, and this is actually my first Solo Loop band. And I think mainly because of how stretchy the band is. Like a normal Apple Watch band does not have that stretch to it. It stretches very little, whereas the Sprout Green Solo Loop stretches so much that it's actually very nice, and when you put it on your wrist, it looks so clean with the Ultra because of how there is no clasp. Like, the clasp doesn't exist with it. So here, if we put this on my Ultra, you have absolutely no clasp, which I think is so nice and cool with the Solo Loop, and then you just slide it on over your hand, and it looks so good. And it is also a vibrant green, so it does stand out like some of my other bands do. But having no clasp and having the watch with no clasp and not have to worry about something and it getting snagged off my wrist, because the only way for this to come off my wrist is if I take it off over my hand like that. There's no other way for this to accidentally come off, accidentally get snagged on something. And it's really nice not having to worry about my $800 computer potentially coming off and getting lost somewhere or something. But I've used almost pretty much every band. And I gotta say, I love them all, but they all have their faults. Like, some colors just don't look good on the Ultra. There are others that look extremely well. And it's all about personal preference at the end of the day. I like bands with my Ultra that I know aren't going to go anywhere or come off. Hence why the Solo Loop and Alpine Loop were my top two favorites. And then after that, we go by comfort-wise, as they all are nice bands. They all look good. Some don't look as nice as I'd like them to. But that's okay. Now, I want you to tell me what your favorite band is, because everyone has different band preferences. You could totally disagree with my list. You can hate the Solo Loop band, but that's totally up to you, your own opinion. But I want to know with a comment down below, and while you're down there, if you want to subscribe and hit the like button, I'd really appreciate that. And I want you to remember, today is a good day to make a great day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.